Abundant life. Live abundantly. What does the word abundant conjure up in your minds? If I say abundant, what do you think of? Lots. There's a good word. Abundant, abundantly, lots. Just fits it right in there. Lots. More than enough. More than what we need. More than what is sufficient. And that's what Jesus came into the world to give us. And the thing is, those of us in the United States, those of us in other parts of the Western world, when we think of abundance, we think of stuff. Because we have lots and lots of stuff. Compared to people in the rest of the world. I mean, we have so many things. And don't get me wrong, I like my stuff. You know, who could live without this? Could anybody live without one of these? How did we function years ago without these beautiful tools?
Ryan doesn't have a phone.
Ryan doesn't have a phone.
So he's going.
Good for you. You are. You made it 11 years. That's good. That's good. You have endured.
Almost 12.
Almost 12. Almost 12. Yeah, I probably made it for, I don't know, at least 30 years without one of these. It's possible. It is possible. But we like our things. We like to be comfortable. But the abundant life is not about stuff. The life that Jesus came to give is not about things, but it's about relationships. The life that Jesus came to give us is a life of connection. Connection with God, connection with other people, a life of joy. I mean, that's really what abundance means, as far as I can tell. It's living in that place where you're not just struggling, where you're not just enduring, but where you have more than enough. And it's not that you have more, not just that you have more than enough to eat, but that you have more than enough love in your life. You have more than enough connection. You have more than enough spirit. And that's what Jesus really came to give us. And the sad thing is I think that those of us who live in the prosperous parts of the world, or at least this particular prosperous part of the world, have missed that in a big way. We really have. You may know that the United Nations does a World Happiness Index. So they don't just, for a lot of years, you want to measure things like gross national product and, level of political freedom and things like that. But now they've done this whole index to try to get a sense of what places are the places that are most fulfilling to live in, where people have the richest life in every sense of that word, not just monetarily, but the most full life. And where do you think, some of you know the answer to this, if you know the answer, go ahead and shout out. But where do you think the U.S. is on that list of countries?
19.
No, not at the bottom, but
19.
19! 19, absolutely. That's exactly right. We're at 19, which means that we come in behind places like Costa Rica. I mean, Costa Rica is probably nice. I mean, it's tropical, lots of animals, rainforest. I mean, I hear that it's really gorgeous. But they do have an income, an average income that's about 1/5 of ours in the United States. And the thing that really shocked me, and this might surprise some of you too, the thing that really shocked me is that Israel is above the U.S. on the happiness scale. And think about that. I mean, this is a country that is in peril. They're surrounded by enemies. They have rocket attacks on them. And yet, there's something there that makes them happier than we are. And, what is that? What is that? I really think think that it is about connection. It is about relationship. It is about those things that really make us human. And if you look at the countries that are at the top of the list, so the countries at the top of the list, the top four: Finland, Norway, Denmark, Iceland. What do those four countries have in common? Yes?
Lutheran.
That's right, you were here last Sunday. They are majority Lutheran countries. You know, they're far in the north, they don't get a lot of daylight, it's cold all the time. But there's something, the other part of it is that there is a lot of what people call social capital in those countries. There's a lot of community, there's a lot of connection, there's a lot of people supporting one another. And I do think that has something to do with being so far north. I know when I lived 20 miles south of the Arctic Circle, there, you relied on other people. You had connections with other people. You were supported, and you did support other people. You had to in order to get by. And so those kinds of connections, I think really contribute to the quality of life. But as Mr. Martin said, majority Lutheran, and I don't know that has anything particular to it, but I think maybe our Lutheran theology of the focus on the grace of God, the focus on the unbelievable grace of God, that God's love is pure gift all the time, that God is always reaching out to people, that God is always on our side. Maybe that in the culture, that kind of permeated through a little bit. Because I think that is really the thing that puts us in that place of living abundantly. When we have that confidence that God really is for us, unequivocally, without question, with no holding back, that makes a difference. That puts us in a new place to look at the rest of the world. It's just like in your life when you know that you have another person who's at your back, when you know that you have a parent or a spouse or a sibling, when you know that you have somebody that's in your corner. Boy, doesn't that make life better? And think if you know that the God of the universe is in your corner, is on your side. That's a doorway. That's a doorway to abundance. And see, I think that there are many things that we can do. The UN World Happiness Survey says there are things that we can do to tap into this sense of well-being, to tap into abundance. And you all know what the number one thing that you can do, there's one thing that you can do that will make you a lot happier than anything else that you can do, and that is sleep. Sleep. And see, I think this is a biblical thing, because our Jewish brothers and sisters would remind us that sleep, especially on the Sabbath day, is a mitzvah. A mitzvah is a good deed, something that makes the world a better place. Say, sleep! Come on, sleep! Give me a break! I'm not doing anything when I'm asleep. Precisely. You're not doing anything. You're just trusting that there is someone else in control of the universe. And it's not you. Sleep is the quintessential demonstration that it all doesn't depend on us. Because when we're out, we're out. And others and God are going to have to take care of things while we're sleeping. Sleep makes it clear that we have to trust. So I recommend sleep, especially if you're a teenager. I highly recommend sleep. It's good for you. The other things that support a good life are things that you would think of: exercise, interacting with other people face to face, volunteering, The thing that I was disappointed about was that going to the movies turned out to make you happier than going to religious services. But, oh well. But as I said, that I could get that. I mean, if you're going to the movies, if you're going to a good movie, it's going to be a good story. And we know that all the good stories are old stories. I mean, it's all about good versus evil. And a lot of the really good stories, if you think about a lot of the really good stories, are about sacrifice. You know? Star Wars, Obi-Wan. You know? You think about even the Lord of the Rings. You know? It's about being willing to sacrifice. And where do you think that idea comes from? I don't think I need to tell you. Yeah, exactly. It's about Jesus. Notice that the things that don't make that list are interacting with technology. The abundant life does not come from our phones as much as we love them. The abundant life does not come from our computers, as useful as they are. The abundant life does certainly not come from watching CNN or Fox News. It does not come there. No doubt. The news is not going to give you the abundant life. But it starts with, and really ends with, our relationships. Our relationship with God, spending time with God, worshiping together. You know, a thing that didn't make the list, but probably because they just didn't really think about it or analyze it very much, is singing together. People who sing together, their levels of happiness rise. It's almost as good as sleep. Where else do we sing together but when we worship? I mean, back in days long ago, you know, people would have a piano in their living room and people would get together and sing, or, you know, everybody was in the school chorus, but that's really not true anymore today. But when we come together, when we build our relationships, when we nurture that connection with the living God, there is abundant life. Life that's more than just getting by. Life that's more than enough. Life that's a blessing. Thanks be to God. And speaking of singing together, I know this is a hard song. It's one that most of you don't know. LBW, number 39.